ago there were 3 pigs,
Oink, oink.
little handsome piggy wigs.
Oink, oink.
For the big bad, very bad, big bad wolf, they didn't give 3 figs. Number 1 was very gay, and he built his house with hay. With the hey, hey toot, he blew on his flute, and he played around all day. Number 2 was fond of jigs, and so he built his house of twigs. Hi diddle diddle, he played on his fiddle as he danced with the lady pigs. Number 3 said nix on tricks, I will build my house with bricks. He had no chance to sing and dance, 'cause work and play don't mix. Ah ha ha ha, 2 little pigs just winked and laughed, ha ha. Who's afraid of the big bad wolf, the big bad wolf, the big bad wolf? Who's afraid of the big bad wolf? Tra la 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 la. Who's afraid of the big bad wolf, the big bad wolf, the big bad wolf? Who's afraid of the big bad wolf? Tra la 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 la. Three blind mice, see how they run, see how they run. They all ran after the farmer's wife. She cut off their tails with a carving knife. Did ever you see such a thing in your life as 3 blind mice? 3 blind mice, 3 blind mice, see how they run, see how they run. They all ran after the farmer's wife. She cut off their tails with a carving knife. Did ever you see such a thing in your life as 3 blind mice? They all ran after the farmer's wife. She cut off their tails with a carving knife. Did ever you see such a thing in your life as 3 blind mice? Three blind mice. Oh!
everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the puppet craft today. I'm so excited to be here with all of you. Where am I? Hi, I'm right here. Hi everybody, my name is Z, and today we are going to be making a really adorable baby bird puppet. I'm so excited to show him to you, or her. Here we are. This is the puppet we're going to be making today. Can you see? Here, maybe against the black. There's our little baby bird puppet in a nest. And it's so cute. Maybe if we go to this angle, you'll be able to see him better. There we go. There's our little baby bird. Hey, baby bird, look at the camera. There we go. All right. So, in order to get started today, and making our really cute baby bird puppet, let's go over our materials list. Okay, you can hang out right there, little baby. All right, so for our puppet today, what do we need? We need felt or a small, thin sock. Okay, what else are we gonna need? We're gonna need one paper towel, and you don't need the whole thing, just a piece of a paper towel, like half of a paper towel. Markers, rubber bands, glue dots or white glue. I use glue dots when I'm doing my presentations for you because they go faster, but white glue is perfectly fine. You just have to remember it needs some time to dry. You need some brown paper or a brown paper bag, some clear tape, and googly eyes. We love googly eyes. But if you don't have googly eyes, it's okay. You can use a marker. So I have all my materials right here in my little bin. And the first thing that I'm going to use is my brown paper. Now this brown paper I get from when we get a shipment in the mail and somebody like Amazon, or we have a cat, our cat food comes wrapped up in this brown paper, and it's a nice thin brown paper. Now, if you don't have this thin brown paper laying around, you probably have a paper bag. So what I want you to do is take that paper bag and crumple it up. Make sure it's nice and weathered and crumpled. All right? We don't want a nice flat paper bag. We want it to be all crumply. And little baby bird, I'm gonna move you over to here so that I can have my full workspace. So I'm going to crumple this even a little bit more. Now we don't want to tear it, we just want to crumple it so that it's really flexible, okay? All right. And if you're using a brown paper bag, cut it so that you have one nice long piece, okay? So I have one nice long piece of this thin brown paper, and it's all crumpled up. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start at one end, and I'm gonna roll. Just like this. And if you have any questions about what we're doing today, please feel free to post them in the comments section of the video. There we go. Did anybody get to see the show earlier today? Chad performed The Lion and the Mouse and the turtle, the tortoise, and the hare. So let us know if you saw that show today. We perform a free live puppet show every Friday at 11 a.m. I'm going to take a piece of tape and I'm just going to tape down the end of my paper bag, or my brown paper, so that it stays rolled up. Just in the middle, just to tack it, okay? Now we have this long tube. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start to roll my tube up, but I'm going to leave a hole in the center like a donut, okay? And this is going to become our nest. So roll that up. And I should tell you that this puppet today is inspired by my friend Carol Sterling, who is a puppeteer an extraordinary woman living here in New York City, and she has been observing baby pigeons hatching on her fire escape and has been watching them hatch every day. Or maybe it's her balcony in New York, in Manhattan. So I've been watching these pictures she's been posting, and I was inspired to make a baby bird in a nest. So what I did is I rolled up my paper, and then I just tacked the end right here with some tape so that it's nice and sturdy. Okay? And then I'm going to just kind of smush it down a little bit. All right? But you want to make sure that you can poke your finger through, because what you're going to be able to do is hold the nest, and this finger is going to be a finger puppet, and then it'll look like a little baby bird is alive on your hand. Okay? So we're going to set our nest to the side while we work on our baby bird. So what you want to do is, if you're going to use felt, take a piece of felt, wrap it around your finger, and then cut it so that it's a square. All right? And then you're going to want to sew that square up so that it's a tube. Okay? If you don't have felt laying around your house, or a piece of fabric that you could use that's like felt, then what I want you to do is take a sock. Okay? A nice thin sock, like a little kid sock, is great for this. You don't want to have a lot of extra material. And you'll put your finger inside the sock, and then take a rubber band and wrap it around your finger right here at the base, and then kind of tug the extra fabric through so that it's nice and tight. Okay? And put the extra fabric to the back of your finger right there. All right? And then you can use the sock as your finger puppet. Okay? And make sure you don't do the rubber band too tight, because you don't want to lose circulation in your finger. But this is a great way to be able to have a finger puppet if you don't have felt laying around, or if you don't feel like sewing. That's an option. All right? I'm going to move ahead with my little felt sleeve that I made. Again, I took a piece of felt, I wrapped it around my finger, and then I kind of measured how much I needed, and I cut out a rectangle, and then I sewed the edges together here and here, but I left this part open. And then once it was sewed, I turned it inside out so that it ended up looking like this, so that the seam where I sewed it is on the inside. Okay? So now the next thing that we're going to do is our face. I'm going to take a piece of scrap felt. I have a bag of scrap felt from whenever I'm making something. If I have a piece that's this size or larger, I just throw it in that bag, and so then when I'm making any kind of a project, I go to that and I say, oh, is there any colors in here I can use instead of cutting into a new piece of felt? So a bird is going to have a triangle shaped beak. At least that is what I want my bird to have for their beak. And my triangle shaped beak is going to be this like orangish yellowish color, but really your beak can be whatever color you want. And I just cut out this little triangle. Okay, it's a little wonky. I'm going to trim it up just a little bit more. Oh, don't overdo it, Z. Sometimes I trim too much, and I have to start again. So I have a little, well, it's not a rectangle. I have a little triangle here that's going to be my beak. Now I could stick this on with white glue, but because I'm doing this demonstration with you and I want it to stick immediately, I am going to use a glue dot. Glue dots are just these little pieces of adhesive that just stick immediately. They're really great if you need something that isn't wet, has no drying time, and just works quickly. So I'm going to stick my beak onto my glue dot, and then stick it onto my puppet and press down really hard. Okay, so my beak is on. Now let's give this puppet some eyes. Now I have googly eyes laying around because, you know, puppeteer, we always have googly eyes. But if you don't have googly eyes, you can use a marker, absolutely. Or you could use another piece of felt or some buttons. I mean, really, whatever you want to use. I'm going to put one googly eye on there just like that. And I'm going to put the other googly eye on just like that. Oop. I'm going to turn it around and have him look at me for a second, because you always want to try to get the eyes to be even, unless that's not what you're going for. Maybe you're going for a crazy bird, but my bird's eyes wanted to be even today. So now we have eyes and we have a beak, but we're missing something that makes a bird a bird. What could that be? Could it be some wings? Yes, we need some wings. So I was trying to think of what kind of material we could use for wings that everybody would have at home. Because you might not have felt, but you definitely have socks. But if you don't have felt, then how are you going to make felt wings? And so what I remembered is when I was a kid, sometimes I would use paper towels, because they're quite thick actually. And I would make and draw on paper towels sometimes. And so I tried this last night and it worked quite well. So you're just going to tear. You don't want to cut, because we want to have that kind of feathery look to it. We're going to tear a piece of the paper towel. Okay? It does not have to be perfect. This is plenty. In fact, this might be too long. I think I'm going to make it a little thinner. Just a little thinner. So when I'm tearing it, I put one hand down as my ledge, and then I'm going to pull against that. I'm kind of pushing down here, and I'm going to pull against that so that it can kind of be the length that I want it to be. There we go. All right. And they're a little long. I'm thinking of like a mama or papa bird right now and not a baby bird. Okay. These are much bigger wings. Here we go. You can make your wings whatever size you want. I'm trying to make them relative to the size of my puppet. All right, I'm going to make them just a tiny bit smaller. I just got really excited about the paper towel, I think, and cut off a huge piece, but you really don't need a big piece. There, that looks perfect. So it's a small piece. And now I'm going to take my markers. I'm going to use these two colors. It's like a red and like a darkish orange, but you can use whatever colors you want, just like your bird can be whatever color you want it to be. And the first color I'm going to do is my orange. I'm going to kind of go around, I think I'll do the edges in this orangish color. And you can see that the paper towel just really likes picking up the color from the marker. Now a crayon is not going to work as well with this, but a washable marker, that is the way to go. Just make sure that your towel doesn't get wet, okay? Or your wings, because then they will never look the same. So this is a dry bird, no bird baths. Okay, I just went around the outside, and then I'm just going to do a little bit more. Make that a little bit of a thicker outside line. If you didn't catch our live show today of the Lion and the Mouse and the Tortoise and the Hare, it will be streaming on our Facebook page for 1 week, and then we will have a new show next Friday at 11 a.m. So make sure you tune in. We always perform live puppet shows every Friday at 11. And then every day we are doing live puppet DIY workshops like the one that you're watching right now. Monday through Friday, 4 p.m., Saturdays and Sundays at 10 a.m. So we hope that you all have been enjoying these DIYs that we've been putting together for everyone. And if you like what you see, head on over to wondersparkpuppets.com and you can check out some of the different ways that you can support our puppetry company. We have been performing puppet shows as Wonder Spark Puppets for the past 10 years in New York City. And usually we're outside performing in parks and libraries, in schools, classrooms, private events. So this has been a huge learning moment for us, learning more about how to perform work for other audiences. Oh, it looks like my red marker, maybe the cap didn't get put back on it properly. Does that ever happen to you? I think there might be a way to revive it, but I can't do that on this podcast right now or this episode. So I'm going to have to go back to my orange and make do. That's okay. I really like this orangish brownish color. It looks very earthy to me, so we're just going to go with that. And again, we're just putting color into the wings. And I'm just doing it very lightly. I'm not, you know, staying in one spot for a long period of time. I'm just lightly going over the paper towel. And now we have color on both sides. Well, actually, because the red wasn't so helpful, I'm going to color that a little bit more now. Just 'cause. There we go. I hope everybody has been having a great week. It's Friday. Yay! Passover ended yesterday. I hope everyone had a good Pesach if you're celebrating. Today I made challah bread right before I came over here. I punched it down, and I should tell you what I'm doing. Not talk about my challah bread, but I did make challah bread right before I came over here, and now it is rising in its braided form. It's very exciting. Okay, I have the wings. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this rubber band. We get these rubber bands on our produce a lot, and I save them and I use them for all sorts of projects. And I'm going to put it in the middle, and I'm going to twist it around here. Now if you don't have a nice thin little rubber band, you could use a twist tie. You could even use a piece of tape, I think. But I found that the rubber band worked really well when I was making this, so that's what I'm going to go with. And you want to just try to have it be even in the middle. And, you know, a few times around is good. And now we have some wings that we're going to attach to our little baby bird. Look how cute. Look how cute that is. And the way that I'm going to attach it right now is with a glue dot, but again, you could use white glue and then put like a clothespin on it or something and let it dry like that, and then it'll be good to go. Our radiators are still coming on in our apartment, so we always use our radiators as our drying spot for all the craft projects. So it's always a happy, sad day when the radiators go off, because it means that summer is here, but it also means we don't have a regular little drying spot anymore for our craft projects. So I attached my wings to the back of my little birdie puppet, and now I'm going to keep my hand in this position. This is not how I would normally perform, but I think that you guys can see it the best. I'm going to put, because we don't want to mush up the wings, I'm going to put the puppet in from the top into our little nest. And then I'm going to put my hand in from the bottom and fit her onto my finger and turn her towards the camera. And there she is. There's our little birdie in the nest, celebrating spring, waiting for her mom to come back with a worm or some food. Well, I hope that you all enjoyed making this puppet craft with me today. Hi. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed making this baby bird puppet craft with me today. If you do end up making a baby bird and a nest puppet, please be sure to share a picture with us. We would love to see your creations. And also be sure to tune in every day. We have a new puppet DIY, either by myself or from one of our performing partners, Jenny, Christina, Julia. They are also creating amazing puppet DIYs for you for Wonder Spark Puppets. And also make sure to check us out on Friday's live puppet show. We just had one today at 11 a.m. and that will be streaming on our site for the rest of the week. If you liked what you saw, please head on over to wondersparkpuppets.com. There's a lot of different ways you can support our company. And thanks so much and have a great day. Bye, everybody.